Hi, Sally Walker here, your hormone and slow age expert, and welcome to my Happy Health blog. So, how important are these hormones as we age? Well, I believe they're pretty much central. They're very important because we need to maintain balance as much as possible between two particular processes in the body, and it's called the anabolic and the catabolic process. So the anabolic process is the building repair process, and the catabolic is the breakdown process necessary for us to maintain energy levels, okay? So when I say build and repair and breakdown, I'm talking about body proteins more than anything else. So we need to build our proteins. So our proteins can be our muscle tissue, or skin tissue, or bone tissue, that kind of thing, but it can also be enzymes and blood cells and immune cells and all these kind of amazing things that the body uses protein for. And we need to be able to build everything so we can use it, so we can run our biochemistry, so we can have strong muscles and our skin looks good and our bones are strong, etc., etc. We need to be able to do this. But the body will also break down, especially these structural proteins, to release glucose so you can also make energy. And so you're thinking now, well, we eat food. Isn't that enough? We should be, shouldn't it? But the body doesn't really work like that. It loves you eating food. It's not because it doesn't want you to eat food. But just in case that you don't get any food, we have this, if you like, fallback system where cortisol, the major catabolic hormone, will break down your muscle tissue, bone tissue, skin tissue to release glucose so you can make energy. And unfortunately, this seems to be running, like 24/7. And you eating some food can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing at the end of the day if we get too much food, especially if we get too much carbohydrate, because then we're going to start storing it. Much of it is fat, isn't we? Yeah. Okay. So we need to have a balance between the catabolic and the anabolic process. And until we get to around the age of 40, 45, around there, both sexes, we have a balance in the hormones. So the catabolic hormone major is cortisol. And then the anabolic hormones, well, these are the lovely testosterones and the estrogens. I mean, even human growth hormone is a major anabolic hormone. So these are the building hormones. And we have enough of them to balance cortisol. So if we look at the 24-hour period and we look at the production of cortisol, it has a 24-hour cycle where the production of cortisol is extremely high first thing in the morning. So somewhere between the hours of 6 and possibly 8 in the morning, cortisol levels are going to be very, very high. And from that point on, they will drop and they will be relatively low throughout the day, and especially from late afternoon, evening, and through the night until the early hours of the morning, until around 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, where it starts to increase again to get you up and get you out of bed. Yes, that's what it does. So that's the natural cycle of cortisol. So if you leave the ovaries out of this, ladies, and if you boys don't think about your testicles for a minute or two, so we can say that the anabolic hormones also have a natural 24-hour cycle, which is opposite to cortisol. So that means that as cortisol and the catabolic processes are slowing down for the day, so after 6 p.m, the anabolic hormones are getting a look in, because now we need to repair ourselves. We've had some breakdown. We might have done some exercise. And now we need to build and repair ourselves, get strong muscles and strong bones, etc., etc. So if you don't change anything else in your lifestyle, just do this one thing. Think about the 24-hour cycle and think about the hours between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Here, you can be as active as you like and you can eat food. From 6 p.m. until 6 a.m., you should be more resting. I'm not saying you're not doing anything, more resting. And you should definitely be fasting. Because if you just do this particular thing, and I know you're thinking, this woman's crazy, how the heck can we do this? I know it's difficult in the world we have created, but it doesn't mean to say it's not correct and it's not going to help you. It will absolutely help you. If you don't change anything else, You keep on eating what you're eating, you're drinking what you're drinking, etc., etc. But if you are active between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. and eating your food and drinking your alcohol or whatever, and then from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. you are resting and you are not eating or drinking, that thing alone will change your body's health, your body's vitality, how it looks, how it feels, how it functions, and it will help you age much more gracefully. That I promise. Okay, so think about that. We need to balance those hormones, because as we age, as we go through 40, 45, 50, we lose a big percentage of the anabolic hormones. So without even changing anything, cortisol becomes more dominant. It breaks down more. Well, it doesn't break down more, actually. We just rebuild and repair less because we don't have the hormones to do so. And that's why we see the telltale signs of aging more after the age of 50 than we did before. Have your hormones, have your life.